So we've been focusing on using the GOMAD framework as a coaching framework, a coaching tool. But I just want to spend a short amount of time explaining to you how this can be used as both a diagnostic tool and an analytical tool. And it might be appropriate for times when you're working either one-to-one or with a group to use it in this method. Let me explain how. Rather than ask questions about the future and get a person to be future focused, which is coaching, we can actually ask some questions about an event in the past. So we can start to analyse why differences have been made or why differences haven't been made in the past. So for example, you invite a person to think about a time when they have been successful, and you get them to remember how they involved others, what their self-belief was like about clarity and about having a plan. Or for helpful purposes, you invite maybe a team of people to think back to a time when they were not successful. And this time you're basically being a bit like a detective and picking up clues about which of these key principles were missing or weaker. Sometimes in conversation with a person, they will actually disclose that they're not very good at doing certain things. For example, communicating or involving others, or coming up with creative ideas for possibilities, or planning and setting time aside, or they give you clues about their self-belief. So whilst you might not do this in a formal way, what I find myself doing when I'm talking to people is just analysing. Does this person have some strength or development areas in these? Because it might be that I can help them just by asking a few more questions in a particular place. And just like we were talking about with the classic route way, when you would go through this in quite a structured process way, you can dip in and dip out and just ask a person a few questions then in a coaching way just about involving others if you realise that that might be their weaker area. You can also ask an individual or a team or a group of people that you're helping to think about the current situation. They might be partway through a project, or they might have already done some thinking. And what you're now doing is you're using this as a diagnostic tool to find out, have they already got a goal? If so, how clear it is? How clear is it? Does the person have a strong reason why? Or if it's a team, is it a shared reason? Does the person need a bit more help in possibility thinking? Have they considered the obstacles and the risks, for example? Or about gaining buy-in and involving others? So by asking a few questions, what you're really doing is checking, have they got that? Have they got that? Have they got that? Have they done some possibility thinking and planning? How are they currently involving others, or do they need to do some more? That then gives you your clues to go back in and start getting them to think about the future. Okay, so really what I'm doing is giving you permission not to use this just in the classic route way, to look at it and identify which bits of that will help the person or the group of people the most, and then ask the relevant questions to either focus their mind and get clarity or open their mind with possibilities.